So yeah, so the DJ Academy was doing well. We ran it for about, I think now we're going into 2010. And one day, during the prime of the business, Mr. Cream de la Cream calls me and tells me, hey, my friend, unfortunately, I can't continue with this anymore. So I need my equipment. I want to sell them and buy something. Okay? I put it out there, but I don't think anybody cares. I want to buy a car. I think Cream had gotten some deal where I think the bank was willing to buy him a car, but he needed a down payment.
Yeah.
The down payment was equipment. Okay? I think Cream was actually just keeping those equipments because of the school. Because if you wanted to go, you could get them from anywhere. It was Cream.
Yeah.
Who was also called George. Hey, sure, these guys are called George.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
George.
Yeah.
Funny,
So Cream came, got the decks one day, sold them 100 G's or something, down payment, and got a very nice car, Caldina. I remember.
Yeah, well, Caldina.
Yeah. And that's how that business died. So I tried to push it. So I got a friend called Brian Slick.
Mm-hmm.
He works for Capital FM. He does, I don't know what it's called, Cypher with Slick or something like that. And Slick gave me his decks. So he would give me his decks, I would use them. Touch would come with his turntables, people would use them. But then, unfortunately, for such equipment,
So you're hiring?
I'm hiring now, 3 Gs a day.
Ooh.
3 Gs a day, how much is that in a month? It's 100 and something.
90.
It's 90, sorry, yeah. Man, you can't afford that. You can't sustain that. So I tried as much as I could. My tattoo parlor is not working out. My importing my stuff had gotten into my clothing business. Had gone through a hiccup. This hiccup actually made me sell the stuff at my house. Mr. Prime, he doesn't know this, but this is a true story. Mr. Prime ordered 2 pairs of shoes, and I think he paid me 12 G's for those 2 pairs of shoes, yeah. Together with a couple of people. Mr. Prime prepaid his consignment. I don't know whether it came to 30-something G's, I don't remember. I think it was 4 pairs of shoes. And then, I don't know what happened. My shoes get lost somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah. And Mr. Prime is a very understanding guy. He tells me, you know what, I'll give you some time. Either you import new ones for me or you refund me. Then I was like, he's a friend, so nothing can happen. Right. Until it got to a point where it got really, really bad. And the only solution I had was to go into my house and explain to my sister why we have to start selling stuff now. Because I'm in so much debt. I'm in so much debt. Yeah. Even my DJ had, now that I remember. So let me tell you the story about Mr. Prime stuff. So for me to pay Mr. Prime, I remember I went to the house and I took the fridge and I sold it.
Got the 36 G's.
Yeah, it wasn't 30 cents, it was 15 or something.
Yeah.
And I paid him. And my sister just looked at me like this, like I was mad. Yeah. And she never snitched on me. I don't know why she never told my mom. Very supportive human being. Anyway, so yeah. Then back now to the academy. So this academy had started getting international students too. Okay? From Rwanda. One of them is a very popular person by the in Rwanda. What's her name? Can't remember, but yeah. And then there were just 2 ladies. So one came and then brought a friend later on. And then so one of them, when she came, she told me, you know what? The reason why I'm here is because they had already gone through, the course was 3 months, so they had already gone through the first month. And they told me there's a lot of opportunities in our country. Actually, a friend of mine just opened a place called Kilkepa, and I'm sure you can DJ there once or twice. If you ever want to fly to Rwanda, let me know. I'll hook you up. I was like, oh, really? Okay.
Note to self.
Yeah, note to self. Then I asked, do they have equipment? They're like, no, they don't have equipment. You might have to carry your own. I see. Then I called Sleek. I was like, Sleek, I want to go to Rwanda for an event. Are you able to give me your decks? Rent them from you 3 days, that's 9 Gs. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be back. So I booked a flight one way. And
One way?
Yeah, I couldn't afford two way. So I booked one. I don't even know how I booked it because I didn't have no money. My mom was no longer giving me cash. So yeah, and that's how I went to Rwanda. But
you're going to someone's decks?
Yeah. I was going to bring them back. But no, he didn't believe that because I stayed there for a week. I was supposed to come back after 3 days. So when I got there, I did my event and I forgot to tell you how I learned how to DJ.
Yeah, first of all, how did you even get that event?
So I just told her, connect me to you guys. They said they'll pay me small money, like $50 or $100. And I went. How I learned to DJ is through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned basic stuff, basic DJing here and there, and I was able to at least go through an event by just basic beat matching, baby scratches, and proper selection of music.
Yes.
Period. So that's what I went to do in Rwanda, and I had an event, and the reason why I was interested in that is because I saw this business was dying, and I didn't have a fallback plan. So I was like, you know what?
This is 2009.
Yeah, 2009. Transitioning to 2010 because I remember I went to Rwanda in 2010. Yeah, and had gone through some bad relationship. I was like, you know, I'm ready to go. So yeah, that's how I packed my stuff one day and my
No, but hold on. Are you saying you went to Rwanda and you stayed in Rwanda?
Yeah. I came back to bring Slick's decks.
That's it.
I came back.
No, okay, wait. No, okay, wait.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, don't rush over this.
Okay.
So you jump on a plane,
Yeah.
one-way ticket.
Yeah.
You go to Rwanda.
Yeah.
You arrive Rwanda,
Uh-huh.
and then what? No, that's
Oh,
my
okay. Yeah.
question.
So I arrived there. Then I checked myself into some very.
Also, you checked yourself into the
Yeah,
place.
everything was at my cost. Yeah. Checked myself into. I didn't even pay. God forgive me. I ran away because I thought I'd make money. Like I thought I was. That's what we call the ultimate gambling. I thought I'll be paid enough to afford accommodation.
Yeah.
So I checked in there. I paid for the first 1 night or 2 nights just to gain some trust.
Yeah.
Then everything else was Django style. So I went to the event. I did my event, and I did fairly okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw there was an opportunity for me to get another event the following weekend. So I didn't want to
Come back.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure whether they had equipment where I was going to go the next weekend. So that's why I stayed with Slick's equipment.
Yeah.
So I kept them for a week in my hotel room, and I would set up nicely. Had a MacBook. Shit, I didn't even finish paying for this MacBook, man.
From Kenya.
If this guy sees his name was Ken. If you see this interview and I still owe you that 10 Gs or whatever, please call me. Yeah. So the guy because
Bro, you are a gangster.
because I needed to go with the right equipment.
I get it.
First of all, I needed to do video mixing. You can't do that with basic.
Yes.
You need a proper computer. So I told the guy, I'll pay you down. I traded my computer. So I had some Windows. So take this, I'll top up the rest. I never topped up. So yeah.
So you get to Rwanda, you do this event.
Mm-hmm.
You're still living in a hotel. Okay, something. Lojo, call it whatever it is.
Lojo, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you do this event and then you realize, oh man, there's an opportunity next week. I have Slick's decks.
Let me stay here longer.
Let me just chill here because I may need these decks for the next
and
week.
Slick panicked
Slick
because he thought I wouldn't come back.
Okay.
So at this particular time, the school is temporarily closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Even those guys, they didn't even finish their courses.
Yeah.
And
it's closed because the dude is abroad.
Yeah. Yeah. And then now I can't even do anything because rent is outstanding balances. So the landlord will not allow me to make any move.
Yeah.
And so I remember at some point, the time I tried to take something from the office, and the guard said, no, we can't. This property belongs to us until you pay us. So I was like, okay, then they fungo, I'm out. So when I left for Rwanda, I think I shut the school
In your
down.
mind, yeah, it
I
was
like,
over.
It's gone, yeah. Oh yeah, I remember. I left a friend of mine called Walker, who I later went to Rwanda with, to finalize, to shut it down. And he's the one that said, "Oh, everything we have here now belongs to the landlord. He will sell it and pay his arrears." Yeah. I was like,
But there were no decks, so it's...
There are no decks.
yeah,
it's just
okay.
some tables and some trash here and there.
Yeah.
We're like, cool.
So, okay, back to Rwanda.
Yeah.
So you're in Rwanda, you do this first gig, there's a potential second gig. Potential.
Yeah. It happened eventually, yeah.
So, and you have six decks.
Yeah.
You are this hotel that you've realized you can't pay.
Yeah.
Like, this is such critical things, especially somebody who flies out. So what happens?
So so once so after I do the event, the following weekend, I got paid like 20,000 Rwandan francs, which is like...
Okay, so you did that event.
I did it, yeah.
Okay.
And that event changed my life, yeah. Tell you why.
Did you use your decks?
No.
They had decks.
They had decks.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they had decks.
Okay.
And that's the point I decided I don't need six decks anymore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that's when I also decided I'm coming back to Rwanda for good.
Aha. This was a life-changing moment.
Yeah.
Because why? Okay, explain to me why. What happened at that event? That
Okay,
made you
so those two events meant a lot. Number one, I learned a few things. My skill in Kenya it was very substandard, but it was really good in Rwanda. That means I could export what I had.
You were cream in Rwanda.
Yeah, Eish, my guy.
But you're a nobody at home.
Like, yeah. Even in Kenya, I didn't have the confidence to MC. There I could say, hey, put your hands up. The guys will put them up. And I was speaking English. You don't know. Yeah, so but during my second event, I met one of the most important people in my life. His name was Cedric. Cedric is a francophone, he's a French national. And so Cedric had come in and he was working for a company called Tele10. So he was brought in as a business development manager to revamp the radio. That was the first private radio station. Okay.
Yeah.
So they were trying to revamp it because it was dead, completely dead. And Cedric had to start everything from scratch. Cedric happened to be in the club that I was at that day. And Cedric had my playlist. And he came to me. And he came to the DJ booth and he started talking and he was like, oh, I said, I'm from Kenya, I'm doing this and this. And he was like, would you be interested in helping me revamp this radio? But I won't pay you. I'm like, yeah, sure. Cool. I'm like, let me just go home, take a few things, and I'll come back. The guy thought I was just playing around. And I actually, so the event was on Saturday. On Sunday, I went and I booked a bus. Got on the bus, okay, and I took 6 decks without paying the room.
Oh, you came back to Kenya by bus?
Yeah, I came back by bus.
Uh-huh.
So I told those guys that, oh, I'm coming. The decks. I left and I never came back.
To that place, but you did come back to Rwanda.
That place, yeah, I came back to Rwanda. You know the funny story? Have you ever seen the way you meet someone? Somewhere, and you're like, oh, you look familiar. You're like, oh, you look familiar. What have we met before? The guy that after I'd met it in Rwanda. So the guy, the receptionist at the place I ran away from, I later saw him somewhere, and I stopped. I'm like, oh, hey, you look familiar. Where have you met?
I ran away from your journey.
The guy was like, you're the one that didn't pay. And that conversation ended there very fast. I was like, oh, I'll be back. And that's where I went. Anyway, yeah.
Okay, so you come back to Kenya.
Come back to Kenya.
But now you're sure, I'm coming just to give this guy back his decks, and I'm out.
Yeah. I went and I used to wear, man, let me tell you, there's some things that I went through I didn't even notice. First of all, I always used to wear the same jacket. Okay. So I went to Kenya, dropped the decks, okay, and 3 or 4 days later, jump on a bus back to Rwanda. This bus we're talking about, that is a 24 hours journey. And you are freezing at night. Freezing. It's not even close to a joke. It is wild. But I was so determined that I never saw that as a challenge. Modern cost, jump on a bus, passport stamping like 6 times.
Yeah.
My passport was full of border stamps like this.
So hold on, you've just left USIU.
Yeah.
You're like, forget
I'm
school.
done. I'm out.
And it's just because you've been told, what made you go? All he's told you he's not paying you.
Yeah.
You have no money, you have no... Were you running away from Kenya?
No, I wasn't. There was nothing for me to run away from.
So what made you go then? What opportunity did you see?
First of all,
you're not a DJ.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you've seen here you're a DJ.
Yeah.
You're not a DJ in Kenya, but in Rwanda you are a DJ.
Yeah.
Okay, what made you go?
I don't really know, man. I really don't. But I think I saw the potential of being big there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really used to admire that life.
I
really used to admire that life.
Walking a cream or your heroes.
Yeah, they were. 100%.
Cream prime.
And I didn't want to be the front man, the businessman.
You wanted somebody.
I wanted the attention, and I also believed, and also looked at it like this. Even in Kenya, I was ready to work on the art and become big, but being a businessman, why would I take myself to a place where it's full of competition? Why? I mean, Africa, the minute you recognize that Africa is one small nation, you can work anywhere. And that's based on that, that's how I easily decided to move from Kenya.
Were you scared?
No. Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Hey.
I was not scared.
Even after the little bit that you had been through Rwanda, where you realized you didn't have money to pay for this.
Yeah. And even when I went to Rwanda, I didn't have money. You know how I survived my first 1 month or 2 months in Rwanda? I called my best friend's mom, and she sent me 12,000 shillings.
What?
Yeah. I told her, I don't have cash, because at that point, my mom and I were not
talking.
Yeah. Told them, here, I'm stuck, I need something. She sent me money. I don't know whether he's aware of that, but that's how she sent me cash. MPESA.
Wallace, you have a story in a 3/4. So you get to Rwanda, things are thick.
Yeah.
But do you go back to meet this other guy? You have his number?
Oh, yeah. That's where I was going to.
Okay.
So first of all, Cedric made sure that where I was working, that place we met, I got at least a Saturday, a weekend there as a DJ.
So you had an income stream.
Income stream of 4,000, 2,000 every weekend. How much is that in Kenya?
Okay, 2,000 shillings every weekend.
2,000 shillings every weekend.
So $20.
$20. I didn't have anywhere to stay. Okay. So you know what I did? I remembered